Hey everyone, welcome to DIY Art Therapy. My name is Trisha, and every week I go live Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to share with you a part of my own healing journey with the intent and purpose to encourage you to, prioritize your mental health and use creativity as a tool to overcome whatever obstacles you've got going on. We all have our own wars in our heads. So today I am taking a unique turn with this because it's too nice to be inside. In upstate New York right now, it's 60 degrees, which is insane. So I'm outside and I'm going to share with you poetry. That was my original form of creativity that I used to cope. So I wanted to bring it back to the beginning. And if you're interested in learning how to create things like your own candles at home or DIY rustic switch plate covers or jewelry or anything like that, you're going to want to make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Comment below the word tree, like this tree behind me, and I will send you a direct link for my YouTube channel so that you can sift through the ones that you want to learn about. In each of the videos, I do empower people to prioritize their mental health and to be creative in the process. All right, so today's journey is interesting. I'm going to hope that the sun doesn't like burn my eyes shut because I'm just so fragile. Anyway, so I'm going to share with you some poetry things. When I was a teenager, I had severe depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and did not want to live. There came a point where I would rather die than live another day in the hell that I was living in. So I started to write poetry. My first poem that I had published, I was 11 years old, and it was through my school, and it was about 9/11. And then I had another one published in high school or middle school. And in the meantime, I wrote books of poems. And these are like not your average poems. I'll get to that. So these are more like song lyrics. They have a rhyme to them. Some people are like, oh, it's like writing a rap song, which is ironic because I was a rapper for 2 years, but that's a story for another day. But I would write anything that I was extremely passionate about. So whether I was feeling, intense feelings of love or hate or anger or rage or whatever it was, I wrote it down. And that was my first safe place to express myself. Now, if you're a teenager or you have a teenager who is writing creatively, I ask and recommend that you do not touch that. And you do not let their siblings hold it against them. Because the things that I wrote when I was 14, 15, 16 were like when I was angry or depressed, they were very extreme compared to what I would act on. And I had it used against me when I was a teenager. I do forgive you. I'm not going to name names. But then I went and was grounded because of it. And I ended up burning the first 30 pages of that book, because it was used against me. And it was things, like I said, that was like extreme that I would never do. So just because somebody wrote it down, obviously, if they're like bomb threats or something, please do something about it, right? But like it was different for me. That was my place to really get it out of me, which is what I'm encouraging you to do in the process of all of these live streams, is to get the heavy and difficult emotion out of you. If you're not somebody who likes to talk about it, if you can't be creative with building something, that's okay. Get a pen and paper. This is literally one of the first things that I ever utilized from therapy. Pen and paper, and A, start writing poetry, or B, start writing the things you're grateful for, even if you have to start with the fact that you have a pen and paper, right? So, like I said before, my poems are different. Like in college, I went to be a behavior specialist for adolescents, didn't graduate because I have dyslexia at like the maximum. I'm double deficit dyslexic and dyslexic with numbers, which is called dyscalculia. I think it's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. But long story short, in college, I took a creative writing class thinking I was going to be like loving it. But I've always had an issue with if it's my creative space, I don't want to be told how it needs to be done, because that is where I gain my freedom, where I gain my power, where I express my identity. So I did not stay in creative writing class very long because they were telling me like it needs to look like this. And that's okay for someone else. But for me, the reason how I can produce different results is because I'm not confined to the walls of the definition and understanding in which other people possess and try to enforce. That's where my creativity becomes different. So I'm going to share with you a poem that I had won an award for. So in 2022, I believe it was, you can see on my website, I won 2 Director's Choice Awards through Leaf Art and Poetry contest. The first year I entered, I won. And then the second year I entered, I won again. And it was interesting because it's not the normal poetry. Even when I read it, it's probably going to sound like a rap or something to you, and that's okay. All right. So I wanted to share this poem with you and this piece that won my first award in my adulthood. And it's my testimony. It is really strong, really vulnerable, and I just want to encourage you to be strong and vulnerable and to express yourself today, please, in a healthy way before you bottle it up and explode, because that's what's going to happen. That, or it's going to manifest as illness or something. And listen, like, life's too short for all that. We got to get it out of us in a healthy way. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera over and I'm going to show you, and I'm going to read it out loud. And then I'm going to share one more closing thing with you. And then I'm also, before I forget, listen, like, my brain is everywhere right now. So before I forget, we're doing this live today because tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving. And next week I get surgery on Thursday. So keep me in your prayers. And there will be no live next Thursday. I'll probably go live again Wednesday to make sure I show up for you guys. Okay, down to this. So this is the art and poetry piece in which I won an award for. And it's, to get into the depth of it, this piece was through I think it's a non-for-profit. And what they do is they teach people, families, all that stuff, how to live in a way in which will reduce the likelihood of someone becoming an alcoholic or an addict in your family. So basically how to create that environment that helps people thrive instead of need to escape with substances. So that's where I went and showed this as a recovered alcoholic. It had a really big impact, and I'm pretty sure I cried when I read this out loud and I won. So I'll read it to you guys. All right, it's called Fallen Leaf. I once was lost like a fallen leaf blown away from its tree, going uncontrollably wherever the wind and waters took me. And this was a storm and darkness all around, tossing me to and fro until I finally hit the ground. Some people call this rock bottom. I was feeling like Gomorrah and Sodom. So I put down the bottle to connect with my son, and I never looked back. This is where my life had begun. That fallen leaf suddenly became shelter to a caterpillar and provided nutrients to the soil. My son and community transformed into beauty and love without turmoil. And when hardships arose like a storm with heavy hail, my community supported me abundantly without fail. I was able to provide blessings to friends and family, and most importantly, love flowed to and from me. It reflected outward with deep meaning. I once was blind, but now I am seeing. The connections I grew once sobriety was my reality, the ability to create purpose and connect despite the past traumas and neglect. I get to hold my son's hand and bring healing to my home, a place where I used to feel helpless and alone. From fallen leaf to providing nourishment and shelter, I transformed from survival mode to living freely. I was set in olive leaf. He was the sign the storm and flood was over, the connection I was missing before getting sober. my forever safe place, like a reward for healing and breaking generational cycles of alcohol misuse. I made this choice for my son, and then I started to realize I was worthy too. Just like that, my mission became connecting with you. So whether you're a leaf or a washed up driftwood piece, there is a divine purpose in you, and I am living proof. There it is. That is the award-winning art and poetry piece. And I wanted to, I'll explain something real quick before I go. You see how there's different colors in the background, the yellow, the orange, and the green? This is my husband's hand, my son's hand, and my hand. One of the most beautiful blessings that I have today is a healthy love and a happy home. That is something that I never really had before. So I wanted to share that with you. Hopefully this gives you some hope. Hopefully this empowers you or inspires you to now go write things down, whether it comes out creatively according to other people's definition or it just flows out of you in a way that makes sense to you only. That's okay. Now, while I'm showing you and sharing with you the process of poetry and how it impacted my life throughout all the years, there's one more thing I want to share with you. And, you know, take it or leave it. Like, I'm not here to, like, pressure people or anything like that. If it's for you, you'll know. If not, that's fine. But I wanted to share with you something in the Bible, because all of these things that I teach you, all of these creative ways of coping that I'm sharing with you, they're just a tool. Okay, my life was saved by an encounter with Jesus. And this scripture is something I wanted to share with you in reference to this whole journey. So it's in Proverbs 3:5 and 6. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." With that being said, in my healing journey, as a recovered alcoholic, as somebody who's no longer depressed, as somebody who no longer has to cower down and leave a grocery store because I heard a song on the radio that was triggering me, or freeze in the presence of certain people, or see a car and I would be traumatized and shaking. I don't experience that anymore. I don't, and I once did. Okay, God freed me of these things. When I say recovered as an alcoholic, it's because he removed it from me. Not only did I put in the work, not only did I creatively cope, but he removed the desire. I can literally be around people who are drinking, right? No problem. Do I belong at a bar? No, and that's why I'm not going to go to one. But I have friends and family and stuff like that that will go and have a glass of wine or something in my presence, and it doesn't bother me. I don't feel tempted. In fact, I've had people forget that I don't drink anymore and offer me one, and I'm like, no, I'm good. No problem. So the reason I share that scripture with you is because in my journey, I put God first. When I leaned on my own understanding, I would fall. I would fail. I would be set back a few steps. I would learn the hard way. But when I built my faith in God, he provided for me a way out, an understanding, clarity. How do I heal from this? And I just dug in and I received it. And that's how I can be so healthy today. And if you just happen on now and you go back to the beginning of this, I shared with you that I did not want to even live when I was a teenager. Like, I would do anything to have died. Like, I literally would have paid somebody to shoot me in the face. It's crazy. So I've come very far. I absolutely love my life. And now I get to share with others that there is hope. All right. That's it. That's what I have for you today, guys. Next Wednesday, I hope to do this as well at 1 o'clock. It's normally Thursday Eastern Standard Time at 6 p.m. But because tomorrow is Thanksgiving and next week I have surgery, we're going to do Wednesdays so that I can continuously show up for you on a weekly basis. You guys can watch the replay of this on my YouTube channel. Just comment Tree and I will send you the link. You guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Remember that you are not alone. So if you're somebody who is planning on having Thanksgiving alone, seriously, I encourage you to reach out on like a local Facebook group or something and be like, hey, anybody want to have Thanksgiving with me? Anybody want to go, you know, anything? Seriously, like allow the community to bless you. And you're not alone because God's with you, okay? Even if you don't understand what that means right now, He is. All right. Love y'all.